The radius of a circle is 9 feet. Find the arc length for a 120-degree arc to the nearest tenth. All right, so what this is telling me, we've got a little bit of geometry going on here. We've got a circle situation, and folks, we're looking for part of the circle. 120 degrees. Remember, there's 360 degrees in the full circle. So we're looking for, well, we'll find out what part we're looking for. All right, let's take a look at this and see what we've got going on here. All right, this one says, again, the radius is 9 feet. We got a little picture to help you out. This area that's shaded in blue, gray, right up through here, that is the arc we're talking about. We want to know how long it is. What, if you were to stretch it out, how much would it be in terms of feet, all right? And some of you are like, is that going to do something with pi? It probably does. And since we're going to the nearest tenth, we're going to be using our value of pi just to help us out a little bit there, all right? But let's see what's going on here. Try to open up this circle. By the way, 120 degrees out here is based on what goes on here at the center. That's what we call the central angle at P. So that angle is also 120, because if you were to connect on through here, draw some more lines, you would eventually add all those angles at the center, would add up to 360, all right? So here we go. We're looking at what we call a minor arc right here, and we're going to try to figure out what to do with it, all right? Formula. You know, we're talking about length, and when we talk about the length of a circle, we're thinking perimeter of a circle. And the perimeter has a special name. It's called the circumference, all right? And the circumference is, if you started walking at this point B and walked all the way around the circle, you would make a complete revolution of the circle. You'd be 360 degrees. We're only wanting 120, all right? We're only going to go from points A to B, or one way or the other. By the way, it's 120 degrees either way we go, if we go from A to B or B to A. So here's our story. We are going to need to figure out what part. This is what we call arc length. And there's a little formula here. And that's going to be this value. I'm going to put D for degrees. You could put Q. You could put all sorts of variables there. But D over 360 times the circumference. Times the circumference. Not the circle, but the circumference there. Now, the circumference formula is 2 pi r. This D value for degrees is going to be 120. So here's what's going on here. We've got our length equaling 120 divided by 360. You say, those are big numbers. Nice things, they're going to reduce down very nicely for us. That's actually 1/3 of your circle there, folks. If you reduce the zeros out, and 12 over 36 will go right down to 1/3. But then we've got to put the formula here, and it's 2 pi r. Now some of you are going like, I thought it was pi r squared. That's area. That's area. This is circumference. This is circumference. So again, all right. Now what we're doing with this here, we've got it at this point, we're going to reduce this fraction, this 120 over 360. All right. So we're coming back to say our length is now 1/3 of the circle, circumference, all right, of the circumference. So I need to put in, I got the 2, I've got the pi, let's put a 9 in for r. Put a 9 in for r. So we're going to say 1/3 of 2 pi times our 9. And that's going to give us, folks, 18 pi. 18 pi. You say, well, where's that going? Well, it's going to give us 1/3 of, as I said, 18 pi. Good old fraction time. Those of you who are taking fractions in 4th and 5th grade wonder, am I ever going to use them again? Oh, you're going to use them all over and over the place, all right? This is for the geometry moment, all right? 3 will divide into 18. It'll go 6 times. And we have 6 pi, which is kind of nice. But you know what? I asked you to bring this to the nearest tenth. So let's go to the graphing calculator here a moment and see what it tells us, all right? We're going to use 6 on here. Going to pick up 6, and we're going to multiply that thing times pi. You say, where's pi? Pi is right underneath the exponent key, right under there. I don't know if you can see where I'm pointing to you. But it's a second function, so we have to push this little blue button up there, or whatever color it might be on your calculator. Sometimes they're different. But we're going to pick up pi right here. And look at that. That's cool. It gives the Greek letter right there on it, okay? And once I press enter, that Greek letter is no more. It has now gone to decimals, all right? So it looks to me like we're going to take it to the nearest tenth. Oh, that's a close call, isn't it? 0.849. Oh, someone would say, we could round that on up, you know, but to the tenths, if we're really looking at that 4th place, theoretically, it's going to give us 18 8, and remember we are in feet. It is feet, it's not feet squared, that's area, all right? This is not area, this is part of the circumference. So there you go. So for the distance from A to B, if this radius is 9 right there, and it is, from A to B on the curve is around approximately, to the nearest tenth, 18 and 8/10 feet, okay?
For more math help, visit TNLearn.org.